Cartoons.
And more, you might adopt it. Fit and more
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Arby's Week 2025. May I assist you to Quasimodo himself. So today, we are going to take a look at the top 10 Arby's facts that will make you eat it daily. So, anyways, let's begin, shall we? And cue the video.
Why do people still think Arby's is just roast beef when we have 17 other sandwiches?
As a fast food restaurant, Arby's prides itself in serving the tastiest roast beef sandwiches in America. But
still in America?
Arby's has a number
How
of
very
interesting
genius
facts
is
that include
this?
its food and
Do I
history.
recognize
Time to
on
find
that
out
time?
more with 10 Arby's facts that will make you go eat it daily. Arby's Meat Mountain Sandwich created quite a stir.
I even made a range of favorites. Meat.
With a tagline that boldly states, "We have the meats." Arby's is one fast food
we have the
restaurant that
meat.
does not shy
Sounds
away
like a
from
good
its meat-heavy
agenda
menu.
for
Ever
meats
since
to
it opened
eat
its
that.
doors in 1964, Arby's decided
really
to set
like
their
that
restaurant
one either.
apart by focusing on deliciously loaded, meaty sandwiches
Still of
instead
Arby's,
of burgers,
still got the
hot dogs,
meat.
and the like. Their roast
How
beef
can I ever
sandwiches
say that?
continue to be hot sellers to this day. In an attempt to make customers
Wow, that's a
aware
good
about all the
customer
meat
for a
offerings
yummy
that they could
in my
add to their
tummy.
customized sandwiches, Arby's created posters of all the meat offerings: roast beef, brisket, corned beef, bacon, Angus steak.
I know
ham,
Arby's is
roast
supposed to
turkey,
be a big
and
old
chicken
fan on
tenders,
that.
and they were put up everywhere at Arby's restaurants. All the meats were widely advertised, and sure enough, customers started flocking to Arby's for a bite of all the delicious meats.
Okay, this line is just for regular diners. You need to get in that line.
But what Arby's did not anticipate was how customers would interpret the ads. According to Arby's staff, customers started demanding the sandwich with all the meat on it, i.e. they wanted all the meats in one sandwich.
Everything's a
Unofficially,
particular
the
meat
sandwich
on
began
that.
to be known as Meat
I could
Mountain.
even do
Though
that at
not
Meat
an
Mountain
official
on
menu
that.
item, you can request this loaded meat sandwich at any Arby's restaurant, and if you ask nicely, the staff might just
gonna
make
be
one
good,
for you.
yummy.
Arby's has sold tons of food over the years.
Know what restaurant we're talking about.
Arby's is a popular name in the American quick-service fast food scene. Though it is in the same league as McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, etc., Arby's has distinguished itself by placing its focus on serving sandwiches rather than burgers. This unique selling proposition has resulted in a gain in market share and a rapid
still
expansion
got
across
the meat.
America.
Still
in fact,
looking on
Arby's
it.
now has many
Still
locations
got a lot
across the
of meats
globe.
on it.
Through their franchising model,
I
Arby's
could even
now
try
operates
this
more
one
than
even too.
3,300 restaurants
Still
worldwide.
got on
Though
it.
it had a limited number of items on its menu in the beginning, it has added
Still
a
got
variety
Arby's.
of delicious
Still got the
items to its
meats.
menu over the
Still
years.
looking and
Man, my
tasty.
wife won't let me eat any of that stuff.
But its signature roast beef sandwich and its variants continue to be the most popular items on the Arby's menu to date. Over its more than 50 years of existence, Arby's has sold a shocking 5 billion classic roast beef sandwiches, about 1.37 million pounds of sauerkraut, and approximately 3.34 million pounds of corned beef were sold at Arby's restaurants across the world. Pioneers in public health,
Yeah, I'll take the Angus steak melt.
I'm sorry, are you here to poop something out?
Health conscious and fast food are two
Ooh,
terms that
that's
you would
definitely
generally
the
not
yummiest
use
food
in, the
in
same
my
sentence.
life.
But Arby's will
I
make
guess
you
it's
do
eating
just
in my
that.
tummy
They were the
anyways.
pioneers among fast food restaurants in being conscious of public health. In their efforts to take care of their customers' health, in 1994, Arby's became the first fast food restaurant to ban smoking in all of its outlets. And other fast food restaurants soon followed suit. Prior to that, customers at fast food restaurants were casually subjected to secondhand smoke while enjoying their food. Thanks to Arby's, all that has changed for good.
Now you kids can meet some good, decent people. The folks who work to get smoking banned.
Arby's was also the pioneer in introducing health-conscious items on their menu. While most fast food is loaded with cholesterol,
particular
sugar,
foods on
and
their
sodium,
time.
in 1991, Arby's decided to try out a new light menu that had a range of lighter fare, like
a light
salads
menu
and
on
sandwiches that were 300 calories and under. In another move towards using healthier ingredients, it was
Still got
reported
the
that
yummy
in
healthier in my
2006,
tummy.
Arby's stopped the use of additives in their chicken items and limited the use of trans fats in their cooking. Thus, Arby's may not be the most nutritious place to dine at, but it is certainly one of the healthier fast food restaurants. The secret behind the name Arby's.
I wanna eat.
At first, the name Arby's sounds strange, and if you think that the restaurant is named after someone actually named Arby, you would be quite mistaken.
Ooh,
Think about
still
it. Do
under
you know
Arby's, still
anybody
talking
named
about.
Arby? Contrary to popular belief, the fast
Don't
food
believe
restaurant chain
Arby's
is not
still
named
exists
after a
about
person
this.
called Arby, nor is it named after an abbreviation of their famous roast beef
Oh,
sandwich.
it's very amazing.
Alone with the sandwich for a moment.
It is, in fact, simply an abbreviation of the name of the founders of Arby's, the Raffle Brothers, with the letters R and B converted to a cool-sounding Arby's. Interestingly, the Raffle Brothers, Forrest and Leroy, wanted to call their fast food restaurant Big Tex, but the name was already taken by another business. So the brothers racked their brains and came up with a play on the letters R and B. The first Arby's outlet opened in July 1964 in Boardman, Ohio. Arby's holds the record for the world's longest commercial.
Commercials start coming your way.
A lawyer you can trust.
Since its founding in 1964, the brand has been dedicated to providing the best sandwiches
Still
to
got the
customers,
yummy
and in
foods to
October
my
2013, Arby's introduced the Smokehouse Brisket
Still
Sandwich
got the
as a
meat,
means
huh?
to reinforce
So
their
definitely a
dedication to
commercial
beef
of that.
sandwiches. The beef brisket was said to have been smoked for 13 hours before being served to the customers in the form of Smokehouse Brisket sandwiches. The sandwich was introduced for a limited time in 2013, and after enjoying much popularity with customers, it was brought back in 2014. To drive home the point that the brisket had indeed been smoked for 13 hours, in 2014, Arby's ran a 13-hour commercial that actually showed the entire brisket smoking process.
That's nice. That'll be $5.
Now, one would think that convincing any television channel to showcase a
So when is the
13-hour
television
commercial
supposed to
would
be
tough,
anyways?
considering that the average viewer cannot even be convinced to watch the standard
Sounds
30-second
exactly like
commercial.
it.
But Arby's managed to find a taker for its 13-hour commercial in the form of the Duluth, Minnesota station My 9 KBJR TV that aired it on a Saturday. The entire brisket smoking process was taped by Arby's in advance, and then the commercial was broadcast on the Minnesota channel. It is said that many viewers tuned in to watch the commercial, the average time being 39 minutes. And in the process,
Long
Arby's
time?
managed to create a
No
Guinness World
see.
Record, that of the longest commercial on TV.
That's gonna be a
Arby's
record
made
on
the
that.
world's longest curly fry.
It's fantastic.
No fast food menu is complete without fries on it, and Arby's is no exception to
That's
this
a good
rule. But
record.
would you believe that the original
Still got
menu
the
at
long
Arby's did
curly
not
fries
have
on
any
it?
French fries on it? We'll wait while you let that
Oh,
sink
definitely
in.
a
In the
record, yeah.
1970s, when Arby's had embarked on a rigorous expansion drive, it also decided to take a long, hard look at its menu and came to the conclusion that a revamp was in order. Several new items were added to the restaurant menu during this this period, including their signature horsey sauce, Jamocha shakes, and French fries. And Arby's famous curly Q fries were introduced only in 1988. Customers loved the new additions, especially the curly fries. These soon became an Arby's staple. Arby's even holds the record for the world's longest curly fry.
Still got the long fry on that.
In February 2013, an Arby's outlet at Waynesville, North Carolina, served a 38-inch long curly fry to a customer, Kim Medford. Ms. Medford was blissfully unaware of this and only discovered the unusually long fry when she sat down to eat her meal. When measured, the curly fry was easily more than 3 feet long. Thanks to the customer, Arby's now holds the record for the world's longest curly fry. Arby's original menu was limited.
I almost swallowed some of the juice.
Since its opening 55 years ago, Arby's has managed to firmly establish itself in the fast food category. But did you know that when Arby's started out, their menu had an extremely limited number of items? Reportedly, the Raffle brothers, who are the founders of Arby's, chanced upon the idea of starting up a fast food restaurant when they were spending an evening at a beach resort in Massachusetts. At that time, they had recently left their jobs supplying equipment to restaurants and were eager to cash in on the fast food trend.
I quit, so you don't have to pay me.
But they were not sure about the food that they would like to serve at their fast food.
Oh my God.
While at the resort, they saw lots of people lined up in the rain outside an establishment serving roast beef. And it struck them that there was a gap in the fast food scene of that time that they could exploit by opening a restaurant serving roast beef sandwiches. And that is how Arby's was born. But Arby's initial menu had a surprisingly limited number of items.
That's a very hungry bear that's supposed to eat in the machine.
Drinks. And the restaurant was fancy too, with a plush decor as opposed to a typical fast food restaurant interior. The items on the menu were also priced quite a bit higher than other fast food outlets of the time. Where a hamburger at McDonald's cost around 15 cents, Arby's roast beef sandwiches were priced at about 69 cents. 4 times more than McDonald's burgers. By doing so, the Raffle brothers hoped to attract
the McDonald's
a
is where
crowd
exactly
and make
like that
Arby's
one,
look like
but-
an upscale restaurant.
but that's a
Arby's
different
can be found
restaurant.
in 48 states and 6 countries.
What's that? Your food.
One of America's well-loved fast food restaurants,
Arby's.
is present in almost
That's a very
every state in
particular
the US.
one.
Starting out in Ohio, Arby's has slowly expanded to
Ooh,
48 states in the
American.
U.S. Rhode Island
what
and
the
Vermont
USA is
being
all
the
about.
only 2 exceptions. So if you're headed to those places, make sure you have your fill of Arby's
still
food
have
elsewhere
perhaps a little bit
before
of
entering
yummiest
these 2
food in
states.
my
Another
treats.
interesting fact is that the most number of Arby's locations can be found in Ohio, around 268. And America's busiest Arby's is located in Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Much like its fast food counterparts, Arby's too has many international outlets. Arby's can be found in 6 other countries, namely Canada, United Arab Emirates, Turkey, Qatar, Kuwait, and Egypt. Arby's has more than 100 locations in various provinces in Canada. Taking their operations beyond North America, Arby's has taken off very well in the Middle East.
He has 6 cobras, a bolt of silk, and a ram's horn.
There are 2 Arby's outlets in Qatar and multiple outlets under the joint Wendy's-Arby's banner in the United Arab Emirates. In 2017, they made a comeback in Kuwait after almost 2 decades. In 2018, Arby's was back in Egypt with the opening of 3 outlets through a franchise partner. The world's largest and smallest advertisement.
TV respects me. It laughs with me, not at me.
As we've already seen, Arby's is no stranger to world records. Adding another feather to their cap is
So
a
one
set
of the
of
food's
toy records
supposed to be
covering
yummy on my
opposite
own.
ends of the advertising spectrum. Records for the smallest and largest advertisements in the world. Arby's has set the Guinness World Record for both these categories by means of its ingenious advertisements in 2018. After ending their long-standing association with Pepsi, Arby's wanted to announce their partnership with Coca-Cola in a spectacular manner. They set about doing so by means of breaking 2 Guinness World Records. In conjunction with Georgia Tech, Arby's created the world's smallest advertisement on a sesame seed that can be found on a sandwich bun that was etched with the words, "A big announcement is coming. This isn't it."
Your professor tells us you're some kind of...
Ooh, a good message.
The minuscule advertisement
That's
measured
a tiny looking thing on that.
microns, by 19.2 microns and was later displayed at a Manhattan outlet of
Still,
Arby's.
that's
A
an
week
ad.
later,
What are you
Arby's
talking
revealed
about?
another advertisement, a giant poster spanning 5 acres in the town of Monowi, Nebraska, popularly known as the smallest town in America since it is home to only one resident. The world's largest advertisement read, "Arby's now has Coke," and was even pictured with Monowi's lone
That's a
resident
bigger
standing on the poster.
advertisement.
Arby's was once partly owned by Wendy's.
Remember, Wendy, we make our hamburgers hot and juicy.
Arby's has a complicated ownership history. According to some reports, Arby's was sold by the Raffle brothers to a corporation called TRIARC. TRIARC also went on to purchase
I think
Wendy's
I'm gonna
fast
love
food
this
restaurants. Thus, both restaurants now
This
came
is
under the
both
TRIARC
the Wendy's
umbrella.
looking
In 2008, TRIARC decided to rename itself to Wendy's Arby's Group Incorporated. Suffering heavy losses in January 2011, the company announced that it was looking into selling off Arby's side of the business to concentrate on developing Wendy's side of the business.
My manwich!
In June 2011, they sold an 81.5% stake in Arby's
That's more
to
like it
Roark
on
Capital
that.
Group. But the parent
I can even
company,
see that
Wendy's
little once
Arby's
in a
Group
while.
Incorporated, had by then changed their name to Wendy's, making Wendy's part owners of Arby's. More recently, though, in 2018, Wendy's sold its minority stake in Arby's to another corporation. It is also interesting to know that in many locations, particularly in the Middle East, Arby's is jointly operated as Wendy's Arby's. We've got a lot of...
Well, that's it. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Well, that's all, folks. Good night. Thanks for watching.
Get lost.